coffee. We're so glad you joined us this morning because we got that XL Pizza Challenge going. And we'll swing the camera around in a minute. We'll check in with Jason Martin, who's the owner over at Balsamo's. The two guys are eating the pizza right now. I'm sitting next to Damian Musiani, and Damian was checking on those pizza guys a little while ago. What did you think?
Well,
we're going to have to call 911?
No, I don't think so. We're 32 minutes into the competition, so they've got about 27 and a half minutes or so to finish off, to polish off their pies.
Okay.
I'm not going to say they're up against it. I want them to stay confident, but they're up against it.
Yeah, they're up against it. So I want to introduce right now our next guest. He is an author, he is a musician, and he is just an all-around wonderful person. His name is Keith Benson. Good morning, Keith, and welcome to Morning Coffee.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing well, and it's really exciting to have you on today because you're one of the people that I would consider a community leader, especially in the community of Camden, where we know that over the years, we're talking about a city that was once at the top, that now is experiencing a lot of struggles and a lot of heartache and a lot of tough situations. So let's talk about how you're trying to change that game.
Well, I'm a musician. I'm from Camden. I don't mind telling you I was in the city when it was a beautiful place. I was born in 1954, and I used to walk from one end of the city to the other 12 midnight at 10 years old, and nobody thought anything about it.
Right.
So seeing the condition that it has come on it now, I'm doing everything I can to try to wake the people up and get us back to where we used to be.
And it's really interesting because you started as a musician and you had a pretty amazing musical career. You've been involved in Soul Train. You've been with the pioneers of kind of that genre of music, and you were able to kind of parlay that, to have that voice, to really address some serious issues. I mean, look, in the society that we live in right now, we've got some really serious things that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And you're taking it right to them. And you're saying, listen, we have to talk about it because if we don't, nothing's going to change.
That's right. Well, I've really been blessed. You know, I've been, as I tell people, from Soul Train to American Idol. I played American Idol with Jennifer Hudson and Fantasia. And I'm the only person that was a member of MFSB, which Kenny Gamble and Leon Hubb allowed me to license the name even today. It's my band. And I was a member of the Funk Brothers out in Motown too. So
wow.
I'm very, very blessed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that to me is a commitment to use his blessings to help where I can. What I found is there's a lot of great people in all over the world, but I'm going to talk about Camden and America. You know, a lot of people just don't know what the real struggles of urban life really were historically. So it was placed on my heart that if I could put that in a book, how it really happened, how America really began, and what the struggles are for Americans, period, that we would unite as a people and we could solve these problems. And that's my whole mission, to solve these problems, bring people together.
So in order to reach out to the community and to help to get a dialogue going, you came up with the power and the glory. So the inspiration was there. What does the book tackle as far as the reasons for urban blight and the downfall, I guess, of Camden?
Well, the full title of the book is The Power and the Glory, the Racial History of America and How to Fix It. You know, so it talks about America coming together initially on some pretty racist ideologies. In other words, Indians, Native Americans were savages. African Americans were less than human. You know, this is how America got started. And a lot of us got out of that mindset, but a lot of us really didn't.
Yeah.
And some of us are trapped in that mindset because we only know the cliches or the stereotypes. This will break the cliches and the stereotypes.
So let's bring it home. The mindset in Camden. Now you had said once upon a time it was a beautiful place. So it seems that that area might have escaped the mindset for a while and now regressed? Or has that been a problem all along in Camden?
Like Tulsa, Oklahoma was a very rich city of African Americans in 1920 before it was bombed. Camden was able to carve out a pretty good niche in spite of the racial realities. But now where the book really gets intense, and please, I'm open to all types of criticism and critiques. My assertion is in 1965, when African Americans pretty much won the Civil Rights War, what was done was a reaction, like the KKK was a reaction to the Civil War. The reaction to the Civil Rights War was to intensify drugs in the streets. You know, if you have read the San Jose Mercury News back in the 80s, they talked about how the CIA was involved in putting crack in the city. I say these things need to be explored. These things need to be looked at.
So is that something, you know, and when you said that, I just thought of Lawrence Fishburne giving that sermon in Boys in the Hood, where he's telling these group of young boys, you know, why is there a liquor store on every corner? Why is there a gun shop on every corner? Is that part of that same, it sounds like, I don't want to say the word conspiracy, but it sounds like that's what it is.
Well, if you look, I can't remember Gary's last name, but I know Gary Webb from the San Jose Mercury News does a pretty good job of letting you know there is some government complicity in slowing down the progress of our community. And I think if the rank and file people knew this, we would come together, and that's what I'm banking on. That's what I'm hoping for. That I don't believe that the people are as separated as today's politics would say we are. I think what's happening is the information is separated.
That's a huge point. And what you do in this book is what most people aren't doing with this conversation, and that's offering solutions. Everybody wants to talk about the problem, and they want to say, oh, well, there's this going on, and there's this, and then it stops.
Right.
There's no solution. So reading the book, it says at the end of the title, and how to fix it. Right. So you offer specific solutions. And I don't want to give away too much because I want people to go buy the book.
We'll peek at the ending.
Right? But how do we move closer towards that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've sold about 3,000 of these books so far. I make a stone cold guarantee that if you don't find the book uplifting, I will give you every dime back, even though your audience will get something for free.
Right.
You know, right? And I haven't had to give it back yet. So
that's pretty cool.
And I'm actually set up to give a few of them back, but I haven't had to. So apparently it's resonating with the people that are reading it. And there are people that don't like the information because it makes them change their paradigm. But even if they don't like it, they still respect the fact that it's true, because a lot of people, 50%, are so shocked by some of the information in there, they run to the internet and they run to the library to try to prove it wrong.
Right.
And when they can't, it's the most satisfying thing of all.
It's the timing of the book is one where we just happen to be in a very, very rough patch for our country in the last few weeks. The message that you bring forth in this book, is it timely? Does it cover what's been going on the past few weeks?
It lets me know there is a God. I could not have timed it even. I hate the problems that we're going through as a nation, you know. But I know the problems are eminently solvable. I walk around with a level of frustration, but my frustration is not about the problems. Life gives you problems. My frustration is the fact that our problems are so eminently solvable. And at the core, the people, the 99%, want them solved. But we have to be mindful that there is a percent that makes a lot of money with them not being solved. So we have to look past the propaganda and the stereotypes that keep us separated and look to what's really going on. Because what we'll find out is the two biggest movements in the United States history were the Civil Rights Movement and the labor movement. They are really the same movement.
Right.
But the only thing that will make that movement effective is when those two movements come together. One looks black and one looks white. They're really the same movement. They're just fairness and equality and justice movements. I'm trying to move both of those movements together.
This is amazing, and it's really it's an honor and a pleasure to be sitting with you, Keith Benson. We got to take a quick break right now. We're going to come back and we're going to talk a lot more about the book and what's going on.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at alicia@whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
All right, Jason. We'll check back over with you guys in a second. But we're talking to Keith Benson. He was a musician. He's an author. He is a community activist. He is trying to improve the lives of a lot of people, and he's trying to start in his own hometown of Camden, New Jersey, and this is really cool. And, you know, I noticed your shirt, and I want to talk a little bit about a story that came up yesterday that I saw. And your shirt says, "This has to stop."
Right.
There was a gentleman, an African-American gentleman in the Cherry Hill Mall yesterday that was selling the shirts, and he's the proprietor of one of the kiosks there. And it's his right to be able to sell whatever he wants to sell. He was selling the t-shirts. It was really popular. And Cherry Hill Mall management came in and they said, "You better stop selling these shirts. You're causing too many problems." Well, the young man said, "You know what? That's an infringement on my rights. You can't tell me to stop selling these shirts." He fought it and he won. And those shirts are available now, again, at the Cherry Hill Mall. It was a very short time where he had to shut
Mark's
down.
not telling you this, but he was selling the shirts in the kiosk.
No, come on now. But what it does is it talks very specifically to the issues that we're having, okay?
Yes, it does.
Because he had his voice. He wanted his voice to be heard. Yes, he probably was making a few dollars on the t-shirts, but his motivation, I don't believe, was purely money. I believe it was to try to break down some of these angst and bad feelings that have been built up. And then they came in and they tried to stifle his voice. I know you have something to say about this.
Oh, sure. Seeing as I was the NACP officer that they called when it first happened that night.
Okay, full disclosure, I did not know that. I did not know that. I just saw the
I know you
story.
didn't know it. And if you want him on your show, we can get him on there.
That would be fantastic.
But that is such a great example of what I'm discussing. In terms of the mindsets and the stereotypes, in that Cherry Hill Mall, first of all, everybody's making money. They're not going to stay there.
Right.
So in that Cherry Hill Mall, you got all kind of vulgar T-shirts, pornography, bad words, bad language. Never a problem. A guy puts up and says, "We have to stop getting killed when we're unarmed and when we're in handcuffs," and that's a problem.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the Cherry Hill Mall people are bad people.
No.
They just didn't think. You can't tell somebody who sees their people literally getting murdered and the murderers getting off scot-free on camera. You can't tell them not to complain about that.
Yeah.
So that was a slam dunk. As soon as they found out the NACP was coming out to see them, we never even had a meeting with them. They just wisely reverse their opinion. You know.
Okay, so sometimes common sense can eventually show its head, right? Unfortunately, it took a little ways to get there.
Yeah.
And I think you made a really good point, is that most people are good people that don't think through things properly, and they rush to judgment, they make hasty decisions, and what happens are hurt feelings and lingering bad effects to stuff like that.
Right, exactly. Well, out of all the things I do, and God has blessed me to be able to do, what I'm most proud of and what's most satisfying is not playing Royal Festival Hall where Paul McCartney comes down and wants to jam with you. You know, even that happened too. The most satisfying thing is mentoring young people. You know, and well, I'm just saying, what I do more than anything else, and what I'm most happy with is that I've been able to mentor young people, and that's just the point I wanted to make.
Well, sure. I mean, the idea is if you get it in their head when they're young, you're hoping that it kind of sticks in. I always feel that with every new generation, people are evolving and accepting more.
Should be moving forward. But I think Mark touches on a good point. I think there are certain people who they might be biased and not realize it. They might think they're not. But that's the question is, how do we communicate and have a dialogue so that people understand a little bit better?
Okay, I lost my point, and thank you for that. Okay. Now I remember it. What I tell the young people when I mentor them is there are two major motivations in life. There are emotions and there are principles. And I tell my young men all the time, listen, if you're motivated by emotions, you're going to get in a lot of trouble, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and your life is not going to be productive.
Right.
The jails, the insane asylums, and the graves are filled with people motivated by emotion. You have to be motivated by principle. And when emotion comes and gives you a rush, run that through your principles. And that's where I was going to. I was relating it to the mall. The management, and I'm just guessing, but I never got a chance to talk with them.
Right.
I think they got scared because a couple of customers complained. The customers got scared, emotion. The management got scared, emotion, and they came and they acted. Had they thought through the principles of like the First Amendment for starters,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And the principle is you got somebody with pornographic pictures you're not saying a word to, and somebody saying, please stop killing us.
Right.
You know, they just didn't let their principles prevail.
Right.
And as a people, that's one of the things we're trying to do. Let our principles prevail, and we'll have emotions. Once in a great while, emotions and principles line up. But when they don't, let the principle be your guide.
Yeah. Now you touched on something that I have to go back and get because, man, you played with Sir Paul McCartney.
I played at Royal Festival Hall. I was touring with the Funk Brothers, and it's surreal because I started playing drums in 1964 with the Beatles. When I saw the Beatles, I was impressed with Ringo, so I started playing drums. Now, mind you, many years later, I'm in England, and I'm looking up in the box, in the theater box, and I see Sir Paul, and he's dancing around the same way I used to dance around as a kid. That's full circle. It is. It's crazy. And I have a video of it too, because I know everybody, most people won't believe it. But and then he comes down at the halftime, and we're in the back. We're jamming. He's like, man, don't go back on stage. Just hang out with me. I said, Paul, get out of here. And we would have played the show. But it was I just thank God for that, because you can't make that up. However, having said that, the greatest feeling is to see a young guy. I just had a young guy, I don't think he'll mind me saying his name, but Sean Prayler. I have a lot of them, but this is just the one that just did it. He's graduating UPenn with Donald Trump's daughter and with Joe Biden's daughter. But wait a minute. Rashawn Prelo came from Camden.
Yeah. I want to focus on
He was kicked out. School with a 1.1 GPA. He got to UPenn after getting the knowledge out of this book. He had a 4.0 GPA. He's going to the White House, working at the Office of Management and Budget. He leaves next week.
That is awesome. And what a success story. That is so amazing. And I don't, listen, Trump's daughter and maybe Biden's cool, but Penn, We're talking about one of the best schools in the
Yeah.
country, not just one of the best schools in the area, one of the best schools in the country. You talk about a complete 180 life change turnaround, Keith. This is awesome. We are up against 5 minutes left in the pizza challenge. I want to take a look at these guys again. Can we send it over there? I want to take a quick break here on Morning Coffee, but when we come back, we will wrap up that XL Pizza Challenge, and we will finish talking to the amazing Keith Benson. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you how with a free, detailed, written analysis illustrating your cost savings. We usually uncover savings between 10 and 25%, and sometimes more. We can help your business succeed by providing reliable and secure merchant payment solutions such as merchant services programs, point-of-sale systems, and ATM machines. TCS, one of the leaders in regional credit card processing consulting, offers electronic payments to merchants locally and nationwide through our preferred vendor programs. We work to keep business costs down with a comprehensive suite of quality products, services, and customized credit card processing programs exclusively tailored for your company. TCS is convenient, reliable, and innovative, with customer service available 24/7, 365 days a year. Our in-depth industry knowledge, partnership strategy, and innovative processing solutions allow for a specialized approach to providing merchant bank processing with 100% full fee disclosure. TCS is one-stop shopping for all your merchant services solutions. Our clients save money 100% of the time. Trust Tanker Consulting Services, the knowledgeable, professional, and friendly provider of secure payment services. We set the standard by which others are measured. Call now for a free written analysis. 609-922-0201.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
Today's show is sponsored by Hargrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hargrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hargrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hargrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hargrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When I was injured, I couldn't play basketball for my entire sophomore year.
After years of wear and tear, I knew something was seriously wrong with Deja's knee when the swelling wouldn't go down.
Young athletes are still growing. They need specialized care only available here at Dayton Children's.
I wanted the best care for Deja because I wanted her to return to the things that she loves to do, and that's basketball.
At Dayton Children's Sports Medicine, we're treating tomorrow's champions.
Right care.
Right now.
Right here.
Dayton Children's.
Just right for kids.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, welcome back to Morning Coffee. It's over, folks. The XL Pizza Challenge is over, and I'm looking at these boxes, and man, they've got like more than half this pizza left, Jay. What happened here? Oh, I see what happened. Dominic stinks at life.
And K is a failure. You guys do realize you had to eat your own pizza. You couldn't each eat half and combine it, right? I mean, you guys realize that? I just want to make sure.
And listen, I want you guys to know that I didn't create those signs. That was all Jason. Jason is an instigator. This guy, I'll tell you, he's got, you've got so much going on over there at Balsamos. I love it that you came in and we did this today. This was really, really cool. You gave him the hashtag failure? That's a good one. I like that one. That's really funny. Oh, man, I'm sorry. But, Jason, thank you again. This was really excellent.
Thank you guys.
We got to do it again soon. Listen, go to Team Balsamos, the Facebook page. Go to Balsamos' regular Facebook page. Go to balsamospizza.com. Balsamos, Balsamos, Balsamos. Do you get it? Where are you getting your pizza?
Papa John's?
Balsamos. Hell no, you're going to Balsamos. So listen, we want to thank them again, and thank Jason, and thank you guys for competing. We really appreciate it. And I want to send it back over to Damien right now. You sure can.
I thank everybody for coming in here. This is a very lighthearted situation. I'm glad we all had fun, but your guest right now, Keith, I'm glad that he's here, and his situation is much more somber and serious. And I don't want to take away from what you guys are talking about with him, because we're all laughing and joking.
Jason, I appreciate you saying that, but part of what we do here on Morning Coffee is we try to address a lot of serious topics, but we also try to have fun too. Sometimes the schedules cross over. We try to handle everything with a little bit of dignity and a little bit of respect. We can have fun, and we can still talk about serious stuff too. So I want to thank you for mentioning that. I really appreciate you being here, and we're going to send it back over now and talk a little bit more to Keith Benson. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mark. And truer words have never been spoken. There's no reason why we can't have a serious discussion and have some of those leftovers. So why don't you bring over whatever hasn't been eaten, and we can eat and discuss at the same time. I think that's a great idea. Now, Keith, we were talking before the break about your solution to fix the problem. Walk us through, because if this was something that could be fixed overnight, it would have happened by now. So you know that this is a plan that's going to take time to be able to implement and to have it be carried forward. So how do you see that happening?
All right, in a nutshell, I was making a comment that the, let's call it the freedom movement. It's been a very multicultural movement since there's been one. Here's one idea of a multicultural solution. Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and Martin Luther King, two different time frames, two different people, both said that the United States is a country that is rich enough to easily have what they call the Economic Bill of Rights attached to the Constitution. Because at the end of the day, the racism, the class warfare, the labor movement, all those struggles and strife were all economic. It's all about greed, every last bit of it. Poverty, ignorance, jail, prison, or police murders. If you strip away all the foolishness, it's about dollars and cents. America could lead the world by having what King suggested and what Franklin Delano Roosevelt suggested, an economic bill of rights. And if the people are educated about that, we can make it happen, because this is the government, last I checked, for the people, of the people, and by the people. So this ultimately starts that conversation.
Now, having that financial need be something that needs to be satisfied, you need to be able to have it make sense financially. And we were talking during the break about how it seems that a lot of the stumbling blocks that the movement has encountered has been at this, the quote-unquote 1%. So it not only has to make sense to America, but it's got to make sense to them as well. And how do we get the 1% to get on board?
Well, therein lies the rub. It's like saying in the medieval times, how do you get the feudal manor lords to share with the serfs?
Listen to the serfs.
It's not going to happen. Right. The serfs have to come together and demand it.
Yeah.
So, and when we do, what will happen is the 1% will find it's a better world for them also. Because I'm just saying that most of our problems are economic.
And is the goal to acclimate people to have a revisionist, go and have religion be part of their life again, or is it to change what the media is selling us?
Well, religion is such a strange word, but principles. But I will tell you this, and they shall know the truth, and the truth shall make them free. We got to get information to them, and I'm praying to God every night that this book helps, and we just got to get information that this is not a neutral world. I tell my youth all the time, you think you're watching that just to be entertained? There are people that are controlling that and have other agendas other than entertaining you.
Of course.
And once they see that, it breaks the hold. And they go from getting kicked out of Wilson and going to jail and getting a 4.0 at UPenn. Once they realize, once the truth makes them free.
Keith, this is such amazing stuff. I want you to tell everybody right now, I want you to look into camera one, tell everybody about yourself, how they can get the book, how they can get involved, and just give them all the information you want to give them. Camera one right there.
Well, you could go to thepeacemovement.org. P-E-A-C-E movement, thepeacemovement.org. The Peace Movement is a website where all the organizations and individuals that are trying to help in this world, that are serious about helping, that know that there's a force bigger than us that can allow us to help, we could all come together, work together, do best practices together. Come there, you can get the book, you can get in contact with myself. I go anywhere all the time if it's on my schedule, and you need me to come and speak to a group, I'll be happy to do it. If I can afford to, if you don't have the money for the book, I'll send it to you. We just need to get this information out, and we can make this a better place, and I'd like to do that. I'd like to be a part of that. I'd like you to be a part of it also, and hope to hear from you soon. God bless you.
Keith, is there a website or something that people can go to learn more?
Thepeacemovement.org. P-A-C-E-M-O-V-E-M-O-M-E-N-T.
Thepeacemovement.org. His name is Keith Benson. He is an amazing man, and I think that you should probably try to get in touch with him, get the book, get involved. We're going to change the way things operate here in America, and Keith Benson is a part of that. So thank you.
Amen.
For what you're
Thank
doing.
you guys so much.
You're
Thank
quite
you for having
welcome.
me.
You're
All
quite
right.
welcome. It was our pleasure.
Thank you.
So let's check in with Carol. She's coming up next. There she is. She's getting ready. She's in the green room. She's Fridays with Carol. She's coming up next. Make sure you stick around here on Morning Coffee, and we'll be right back on the Radio Vision Network.
Give her a slice.